Conference on AIDS and STIs in Africa, ICASA 2025, for the first time. Now, the 5-day conference, which begins today, is organized by the Society for AIDS in Africa under the theme Africa in Action, Catalysing Integrated and Resilient Health Systems for Sustainable Responses to End HIV, Other Infectious Diseases and Emerging Threats. Now, one of the attendees is Kilford Zimondi, Country Director at Humana People to People in South Africa. Kilford, good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Sure, thank you for having me.
Now, how important are such conferences in addressing the issue of HIV/AIDS on the continent?
They are very critical, especially for us who work in the communities, in the ground, for 2 or 3 reasons. One, best practices from different countries. What is working in one country? What can you learn and use in your country? 2, technologies, if there are any technologies that you could be able to get and be able to use in the communities that we work. So it is exchange of ideas from across those who are working in the communities, the scientists, policy makers. So it is a very critical conference, and I think it has been critical to get us to where we are today.
Now, what are you hoping to take away from this particular conference?
As Humana People to People, we are a network of 29 organizations, the bulk of which are in Southern Africa, which is the epicenter of the epidemic as such. So we are here to network, find organizations that we can collaborate with, learn what are the next steps in our road to epidemic control by 2030. We would want to find out and learn some more on what we can do at the community regarding universal health coverage, regarding the integration, provision of integrated healthcare at the community level, and what role and where can we position the critical officers that we call field officers or community health workers who are in between the community and the services that are being provided. So we are looking for those possibilities and what else we can do to enhance services for the community.
Now, Kilford, you've been an advocate for community development, public health and the fight against HIV for the past 25 years. How important is it for you to continue the fight against HIV/AIDS?
I think it is critical. I think it's also at that stage. You know, when I started off in this environment, you couldn't talk about epidemic control. I mean, of course, as Humana People to People, we have been very bold from the very beginning because our flagship program is called Total Control of the Epidemic. And it was already initiated in the early 2000s when it was not, the in thing to talk about epidemic control. And over the years, you can also say we have really, as humanity, gained a lot against the epidemic. And as we go towards 2030, it is only critical and important that we don't lose those gains that we have gained over the years and that we actually consolidate and really go for that final victory against the epidemic.
Well, Kilford, thank you so much for joining us on Africa Update. We are going to leave it there for today.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's Kilford Zimondi, Country Director at Humana People to People in South Africa, joining us on the line.
Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected.